You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Nomination Day. Candidates race for the seat. Smith.
I'm here to pledge action.
Grant.
The people's voice needs to be heard.
Bain.
Why should you go with a third party this time?
Swain.
The causes that you fight for.
Burroughs.
Burroughs for Better Bahamas.
November 6th on ZNS. Live coverage begins at 8:30 a.m. Hosted by Ricardo Lightbourne.
Health officials announced early on that the curve of the fourth wave has been flat.
Stand by, talent.
2 and cue.
We have a dynamic team of diverse, enthusiastic journalists committed to uncovering the truth and delivering it with zeal and integrity.
Confirms that the victim's body was found by an individual who was involved in the search.
We tell the heartwarming tales of resilience and success, from local politics to cultural events. We have it covered. We have Aja coming live from Bimini tonight for our top story. We are your trusted source in the North. We are ZNS Northern Edition.
Coming up in the news tonight, the nation's leader leading off the Consumer Protection Bill aimed at protecting the vulnerable from being preyed on. Also, West Grand Bahama residents share what they're looking for in their next Member of Parliament. And the death of a 24-year-old man leaving his family shattered. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Topping news, the nation's leader, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, tabled the Consumer Protection Bill 2023 in the House of Assembly in the nation's capital. The nation's chief reiterating the point that the government of the Bahamas pledged to enact laws that will not only protect Bahamians, but implement programs that improve their lives. Here's that report. As he gave his contribution to the Consumer Protection Bill 2023, the nation's leader stressed the importance of building a fairer economy, ensuring equal opportunities and the protection of Bahamian consumers from unfair business practices, while noting previous measures taken to ease the impact of global inflation, including the lowering of customs duties. He says government is acting quickly to implement additional measures to earn the trust of consumers.
With this bill, we are making those needed amendments to the law to drive healthy competition, protect Bahamian consumers, and promote customer satisfaction.
The expansion of complaint lodging methods noted as a powerful mechanism for consumers.
If you encounter unfair business activities, you can file a complaint from anywhere, even if you're not in the country. Your geographic location will no longer be a barrier to receiving justice.
And according to PM Davis, the bill prioritizes inclusivity, safeguarding minors, the sick, and those living with disabilities.
In cases where a person is unable to give testimony in person, they will now be able to deliver that testimony virtually instead. Once again, expanding access to justice for those who are wronged.
Additionally, the law mandates licensing and registration for all providers, with penalties for unscrupulous practices that exploit consumers.
This includes the restriction of pyramid schemes. So, those who are prone to promoting these get-rich-quick pyramid schemes in the Bahamas to take advantage of people's desire for success and financial stability, know that you will be held accountable and liable for the damage you cause to people's lives.
The nation's leader says the bill also addresses consumer rights, emphasizing the need for public education on these rights. He sees the enactment of the bill as a shift in consumer protection for Bahamians, signaling the beginning of reforms in the country's business practices.
We are in the midst of revamping our national investment policy and investment promotional strategies, which will include proposed changes to improve the ease of doing business, a new look incentive scheme in target industries, and most importantly, a focus placed on domestic investors and businesses so that Bahamian-owned businesses feel more included in the investments conversation.
In other news, 21 days until the upcoming by-election in West Grand Bahama and Bimini. The election date is scheduled for November 22nd, has residents buzzing as they prepare to elect a new member of parliament following the death of the late Minister of Social Services, Information and Broadcasting, Obadiah Wilchcombe. The Progressive Liberal Party, the Free National Movement, and independent candidates are all in campaign mode. But tonight we hear the focus of many residents. Jolanda Thompson-Everest reports.
Things are getting heated in West Grand Bahama. These residents say that they are excited that the election date has been announced. But what is even more important than casting a vote is the type of representation that they will have over the next 3 years. This, they say, is critical to the redevelopment of the constituency.
I intend to make my input as a resident here and a businessman here, that we would transform our community into a model community that can be duplicated around the country. And I'm going to be pushing hard for taxes to be reduced to the same of a bonded licensee in Freeport.
Anyone win for me, they need to put us down because we have war out now east and directly being our butter to put on our bread. And we should learn now to...
What I'm looking for is a nice fish house in West End. A lot of jobs.
Now, these members already have in mind who they may be voting for, but they say that the winning MP for West Grand Bahama and Bimini has to become more involved in community engagement and economic management.
To follow Mr. Obi Wilchcombe's shoes is very hard, so he can have to prove to the people that he can, perform and get the job done and help the people out like how Mr. Wilchcombe used to do.
Rallies are going to really be most effective because I doubt the candidates would be able to touch all of them individually. So I want to encourage everybody to come out to the rallies and really listen to the issues. Don't worry about the messenger, worry about the message.
Now, this particular resident say that during election time, a lot of candidates would visit communities only for votes. And this time, he says he's tired.
Don't just come because election time you're looking to get the people vote, because that is wrong. And some of them, you never see them. Once election is over, you never see them. Everybody work together. Everybody do what they got to do.
The Progressive Liberal Party is expected to host a rally in Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock on Friday night, while the Free National Movement rally is set for tonight in Bimini. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson-Everest.
Thanks, Jolanda. Well, the Progressive Liberal Party's Island Coordinator, Reverend Dr. Keith Russell, is expressing his excitement tonight as he says the party's campaign for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency by-election is gaining traction. Our Azure Quant reports.
Satisfied of the progress on their campaign is an understatement, as the Progressive Liberal Party's Island Coordinator, Reverend Dr. Keith Russell, says. Simply put, Kingsley Smith, their standard bearer, has this West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election in the bag. With just 3 weeks to canvass the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency, the Progressive Liberal Party is in high campaign and rally mode. With 2 successful rallies and energetic supporters, the party is optimistic that it will retain this PLP stronghold.
Kingsley Smith is out there, being the people, doing what he should do, and I think he's going to win this hands down.
Russell noting that the PLP's campaign is going exceptionally well in both the West Grand Bahama and Bimini areas.
There's wonderful feedback. People are enthusiastic, excited about us coming to see them, and they are ready to go to the polls and vote PLP all the way.
The PLP recently organized a motorcade and rally in West Grand Bahama and Bimini, drawing supporters from its members and those in the community. In Bimini, Russell says the constituents appear to be receptive to the party and the candidate's message.
Bimini is going well. In fact, much more so than we expected. You know, the people were excited to see the delegation, and there are some of those persons who are still there now, working along with Bimini people to make sure that the PLP bring this man home.
At the beginning of the candidate selection process for the PLP, there were 10 political hopefuls within the party. While the process did create some tension, that part is over, according to Russell, and they are moving forward in unity.
A little ruckus at the beginning, but we are healed and healing, and I think we're all together now to move forward as one party.
Nomination day for the candidates is scheduled for November 6, which will officially confirm standard bearers of each respective party. Election day is set for November 22nd. Russell says he is eagerly anticipating those days.
I'm looking forward to the election day, and nomination day first and election day. I'm looking forward to Sidney Smith being the next Member of Parliament for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, and I'm sure he's going to do well.
Now, the PLP party will be hosting a rally in Jonestown, 8 Mile Rock, this coming Friday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Well, the chairman for the Free National Movement Grand Bahama Council, David Thompson, is also optimistic about the election prospects for FNM standard bearer Ricardo Grant, and in this report notes that the reception from West Grand Bahama constituents has been welcoming as the party prepares to host another rally along with the opening of its headquarters in Bimini. It's been a busy few weeks for the Free National Movement, according to Chairman for the FNM Grand Bahama Council, David Thompson, who notes that canvassers have been going door to door, canvassing every household in the days leading up to the by-election. He says last weekend's rally in West End was encouraging as candidate Ricardo Grant laid out his vision for the area, receiving warm reception.
The canvassing of all 14 polls continues, and workers have reported that they have received from the households that they have visited the positive message that Ricardo Grant would win West Grand Bahama and Bimini.
Thompson says the campaign team headed by poll leaders is even prepared to visit a house up to 3 times. But for now, the campaign schedule continues, this time in Bimini.
Ricardo Grant will be in Bimini from Wednesday to Sunday of this week. And while there, he will be opening the headquarters in Baileytown.
Thompson says he believes canvassing is an important tool in the campaigning process as it allows constituents to discuss their views and concerns and familiarize themselves with the candidate.
The report that came from the canvassers in all of the 10 polling divisions was that they would have covered, if not all, most of the families in every poll. And we would have had a report from each of the 10 poll captains.
And with the constituency known to be a PLP stronghold, he says he's confident the tide will turn in favor of the Free National Movement on November 22nd.
In the last 20 years, we are looking at being comfortable with the fact that we have been able to hold our own and have had what have said 2 winning FNM candidates to the House of Assembly in David Wallace and in Pakeisha Parker Edgecombe. And we now hope Ricardo Grant will be successful and be the winner.
This just in, the Parliamentary Commissioner releasing a press statement for the registration for the advanced poll as an overseas voter or special voter for the upcoming by-election. Shashina Wolf-Farquharson has the details.
Eligible registered voters in the West Grand Bahama and Bimini constituency may apply to vote in the advanced poll for the West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election as an overseas or special voter. Overseas voters are a student or the spouse accompanying such student pursuing a bona fide program of study outside the Bahamas, A member of staff of any embassy, high commission, or other foreign mission of the Bahamas who is posted overseas, or the spouse of any immediate member of the family living within the household of that member of staff. A member of staff of the Ministry of Tourism, the Bahamas Maritime Authority, or other agencies of the government of the Bahamas, or the spouse of any immediate member of the family living within the household of that member of staff. Or a public officer or a member of staff of any delegation who is on official duty overseas, or the spouse of any immediate member of the family living within the household of that member of staff. Special voters are nominated candidates and their spouses, election day workers, election officials, or employees of the Parliamentary Registration Department, any registered voter entitled to vote at an election in the constituency, and who is a person with disabilities or 65 years or older on the day appointed for taking of the poll. Doctors certified individuals with illness, infirmity, pregnancy, or recent childbirth, documentary proof required, and unable to vote on the day appointed for the taking of the poll. Or any person not being a person who qualifies to enroll as an overseas voter under Section 49A and who expects to be overseas on the day appointed for the taking of the poll, such as a confirmed traveler already scheduled to be out of the country. In-person application sites for persons wishing to make Form J or Form K applications are allowed on the following locations: New Providence, Parliamentary Registration Department, Farrington Road, Nassau, or Grand Bahama, the Administrator's Office, 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama. Form J applications for eligible overseas voters may be completed and the application submitted to their nearest Bahamas consular or High Commission office for onward transmission to the Parliamentary Registration Department in Nassau. The Form J is available at the Bahamas Consular High Commission offices or the Parliamentary Registration Department, the Administrator's Office at 8 Mile Rock, or online. Now, the notice also adds that it is important to note that applications in respect of an overseas voter must be submitted so that it is received by the Parliamentary Registration Department within 7 days of the issue of the writ of election. Special voters applying by Form K or persons wishing to apply locally may visit one of the office's in-person application sites listed on Form A and Form K, and applicants may apply using the mygateway.gov.bs website. The scheduled hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. The application window closes on November 4th, 2023 for overseas voters and November 13th for all other applicants. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shashina Rolf-Farquharson.
Switching gears now, a family is shattered tonight following the death of their loved one. 24-year-old Byron Williams Jr. and his fiancée were in a fatal accident this past Friday. Williams lost his life just days later. Our Aja Kwant sat with the family and filed this report.
It was the morning of Saturday, October 28th, when the family of Byron Williams Jr. received the news that he and his fiancée were in a horrific accident. After a weekend of praying and hoping for the best, Byron passed away on Monday, October 30th. His family now left to cherish the memories he has left behind.
We were supposed to celebrate life the next day.
It is every mother's nightmare to receive a call that their child has been in a serious accident. Byron's mother, visibly distraught, recounting the morning of her birthday, she received the devastating news.
When I went in and saw my baby, oh God, I couldn't take it.
Byron, affectionately known as BJ, had been a cherished employee at Agave Restaurant, where countless customers adored his friendly nature and infectious smile. His family also speaking to who he was.
He was a very energetic, grateful boy.
Everybody loved Byron.
He's bubbly. You go around BJ, if you mad, he could say something what could make you laugh.
In August, BJ proposed to his now fiancée, Shertalia, known as Tali, who says she is still in disbelief. But in the midst of grief, Tali says she is facing scrutiny from some who question her decision not to post about the tragedy on social media.
I really ain't accepted. I cannot fix my fingers to type rest in peace. I'll picture of him.
Tali shares the moment she told their daughter her father had passed.
She looked up in the sky so the tears don't drop out her eyes. And I said, if you want to cry, you can cry. And she bawled.
As the family comes to terms with this tragedy, they leave these final words.
I love Daddy and he is my angel. I will miss BJ.
I love you, BJ. Rest in peace. He'll always be my baby boy.
I love you right now. I'm listening to every single day of my life.
I love him. Still can't say rest in peace, but God knows best.
Byron Williams Jr. was just 24 years old. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Azure Quant.
Well, into news from the court, a 25-year-old man found guilty of stabbing his brother in court on Tuesday morning. The defendant, Albert Hepburn Jr., appeared before Magistrate LaQuay Lang in court number 3 and was found guilty on one count of causing grievous harm. As you may recall, the stabbing incident occurred on Thursday, September 14th. Police reports indicated that Hepburn stabbed his brother 3 times to the upper chest and back. Hepburn's case commenced on October 2nd. The defendant became extremely emotional upon being sentenced to 18 months at the Department of Corrections with effect from today's date. Well, when we come back, we take a look at the day in the life of an immigration officer. That story, sports, and more when the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, continues.
You asked for it, you've got it. A new plant nursery fully loaded with everything you need and extended hours. Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Every Sunday from noon until 4 p.m., join us at Portobello's Restaurant at the Grand Lucayan for a delicious full buffet spread. Call 373-1333 for more information.
The Grand Bahama Port Authority presents 50th Anniversary Golden Tribute, The Unveiling. Friday, November 3rd, Churchill Square, downtown, beginning at 7:30 p.m. Witness history in the making.
Calling all PLP! It's rally time! This Friday, November 3rd at the Jonestown Park 8-Mile Run with special appearance by Veronica Bishop, the Coaches Band, and the Platinum Knights Joking Crew. At 7 p.m. sharp, with PLP candidate for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Mr. Kingsley Smith.
We're here to deliver real solutions, not empty rhetoric.
Along with the Right Honorable Prime Minister Philip Davis and party officials. PLP, let's do it again.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I am ready. I am ready. I am ready.
Ready or not, it's here. That's right, the biggest gospel show with me, Uncle T Baby Boy, on 8:10 a.m. That's right, interviews, greatest songs, praise and worship. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take the Bahamas to the world and bring the world to the Bahamas.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Public Servants Week continues throughout the country in recognition of their hard work and commitment to the country. As we continue our series tonight, we take a behind-the-scene look in the life of an immigration enforcement officer. Our Shane Stubbs gives us more.
It can be pretty fast-paced, like this particular day where officers of the Bahamas Immigration Enforcement Unit executed a warrant apprehending 5 Dominicans and 1 Jamaican national. However, That's just a glimpse into what a day in the life of an immigration officer can entail, according to Chief Immigration Officer here in Grand Bahama, Darren Brooks.
Once a surveillance was conducted, we got a search warrant for the residence, and officers, with the assistance of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, we'll be able to properly secure the building and execute the search warrant without incident. One person did try to evade capture and run into the bushes, but the officers were able to capture that person.
But their responsibilities don't stop there.
What we're responsible for doing is we protect the Bahamian job and labor market from unfair competition. When persons apply for a work permit, it's between the Labor Department issuing a labor certificate and the Immigration Department to actually see if what they're applying for is warranted. We're mandated to carry out inspections for when persons apply for different forms of status. We inspect your property, your house. Let's say if you applied for a living maid or a gardener or a handyman.
Seeing themselves as national frontline security officers, Brooks says they are more than just stamping passports at the ports of entries.
We contribute significantly to the public treasury. So when you apply for legal status, there's a cost associated with that. That's not our primary or secondary focus, just collecting the revenue, but that's a byproduct of it.
Since 1939, this particular public service has been controlling the flow and movement of persons across the borders and has grown mightily over the years. With officers stationed throughout the country, the Chief Immigration Officer says it's one of the most gratifying jobs there is.
When you're interviewed for the job, you're asked if you would work holidays, overtime, extra hours, and work on different family islands. You're gonna do some things, you're gonna go to some places. You get to see your country, you get to serve your country, and it's a career, not just a job.
All in all, the Bahamas Immigration Enforcement Unit works around the clock in protecting the interests of the Bahamian people while maintaining order of the country's borders. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Shane Stubbs.
Thanks, Shane. And here's a check on sports.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and welcome to your evening sports check here in the North. Girls champions were crowned in the Rosina Nesbitt Oriole Notes High School Volleyball League, and they were some pretty exciting games. Here's how it all unfolded. The Mary Star Crusaders are this year's small school champions after knocking off Summit Heights in 2 sets. Here's first-year coach Leah Forbes.
The ability to put everything together and maneuver as a team, it's something special.
MVP Natalie Sampson and Zaria Ingram say it's a new era for their program.
We're definitely very proud of ourselves, especially how we came from the beginning to now. I'm truly proud of my team and everybody and how we represented our Crusader pride.
We had a lot of ups, we had a lot of downs. As a team, I think we were able to pull through.
It was a clean sweep of the junior division for the LIS Buccaneers. They take the junior girls title after defeating the BMES Warriors in 2 sets, 21-10 and 21-19, to claim the victory.
My junior boys won as well too, and now my junior girls. I'm very excited for them, and I'm proud of them. They realized that they were the most consistent ones out there.
The Buccaneers also walked away as senior girls champions over BMES, winning that one in 2 sets, 25-13 and 25-14. Next in sports, the GB Soccer Club girls program is in full swing.
It's the best deal in town. It's $35 for the whole season. We have uniforms coming. Eventually, we want to put them back in teams in their age groups. We do small games at the beginning. We are shooting for 40 minutes, but at the moment, we're doing half an hour.
The program runs each and every Saturday afternoon at the YMCA starting at 2 p.m. And lastly in sports, Shavano Buddy Hield and the Indiana Pacers are back in action tonight when they travel to Boston to face Jason Tatum and the Celtics. Tip-off time is at 7:30 p.m. And that'll do it for your check on sports this evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Shane Stubbs, and as always, be safe and be great.
It's a special edition of Focus Forward for the Grand Bahama Port Authority's 50th anniversary tribute, the unveiling at Churchill Square. Live broadcast on the Grand Bahama Port Authority's Facebook page at 8 p.m.
Fluid Factory presents Rick Ross live in concert Saturday, December 23rd at Gombe Park, Freeport. Early bird tickets, general $35, VIP $50, and platinum $85. Fluid Factory Skybox $150. See you there.
All PLP, it's rally time! This Friday, November 3rd at the Jonestown Park 8-Mile Run with special appearance by Veronica Bishop, the Coaches Band, and the Platinum Knights Joking Group. At 7 p.m. sharp, with PLP candidate for West Grand Bahama and Bimini, Mr. Kingsley Smith.
We're here to deliver real solutions, not empty rhetoric.
Along with the Right Honorable Prime Minister Philip David and party official PLP. Let's do it again.
Nomination Day. Candidates race for the seat. Smith.
I'm here to pledge action.
Grant.
The people's voice needs to be heard.
Bain.
Why should you go with a third party this time?
Swing.
There's causes that you fight for.
Burrows.
Burrows for Better Bahamas.
November 6th on ZNS. Live coverage begins at 8:30 a.m. Hosted by Ricardo Lightborn. Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Lena Knowles, you are our Facebook friend of the day. We hope you had an enjoyable birthday, and we say thanks for always watching. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Raven Davis. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, eviction notices posted. Consumer protection bolstered. Jurors impaneled in Gibson corruption trial. And in sports, Don't Blink Derby returns. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now.
ZNS News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Akush Lopinder, and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in. 162 homes are set to come down in the Cool Acres and All Saints Way shantytowns in just a matter of days as government looks to get a handle on what officials say is a growing shantytown problem. Our Cleopatra Murphy today visited one of two set for demolition for residents' reaction.
We looking for house. Nobody can find no house. Actually, I can't lie. I'm looking for no house because I don't have no money. When you're looking for house, you're supposed to get money. When you find a house to pay, I ain't got no money. Weekend.
With the window rapidly closing before she has to vacate her home in the squalor of the Cool Acres shantytown, a 32-year-old Haitian-born mother of 7 is pleading to government for an extension before the home she shares with her husband and sister, both unemployed, is torn down Monday. While others in the cramped community, also soon to become homeless, say they have searched for alternate housing to no avail, unemployed since 2017 with no other family, she publicly admits they have nowhere to go.
Everybody pack everything pack inside the house, but we don't know where we're going, if we're going to sleep in the street or in the car. We don't know nothing. When they come in Monday, everybody going to be in the wood. So they going to mash everything inside the house because we don't know where we're going to put them.
That appeal would likely go unanswered, though, as shortly after ZNS News arrived, the Unregulated Communities Action Task Force, comprised of Immigration, the Defense Force, Police, Social Services, Health, and Ministry of Works officials, arrived canvassing the shanty town. While immigration officials confirmed resident status in the country, works officials posted no trespassing notices. Francois, another resident whose home is also marked for demolition, shared that with many unemployed, they are at a loss what to do next.
They could give us a tree mat to help us. Like, we're looking for us. If we ain't find no horse, they could come back, do whatever would they do after the tree mat.
Resigned to what would come, the mother of 7 who eventually spoke with social services officials vented.
Every day we talking in the news, We talking, they're gonna break it. We don't talk, they're gonna break it. Like, not sure so everything come in there, say, we're gonna try help y'all, or where we going when the kid y'all have the citizenship, or y'all have the Bahamian passport. We're gonna help y'all.
While all residents will not get aid, Minister of Works and Family Island Affairs, the Honorable Clay Sweeting, says Bahamians residing in unregulated communities will receive temporary housing. Meantime, as officials get closer to demolition, Buildings Control Officer in the Ministry of Works, Craig Delancey, says final notices are being posted in the 2 unregulated communities, including the All Saints Way shantytown.
We posted about 50 plus notices in Cool Acres, and we hope that persons would adhere to the requirements to leave, and instructions to leave, and find somewhere else to live.
Despite the plea of residents in the Cool Acres shantytown for more time, after years of warning, government is determined that come Monday, these illegal structures will indeed begin to come down. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Now the news, no arrest just yet in the case of Monday night's shocking murder of a man in the Harbor Bay Shopping Center. Today, well-known pastor and crime consultant Dr. Carlos Reed, who knew the victim, visited the scene of that fatal shooting where he appealed for a new approach to the fight against crime. With the details, return to our Corval Pyfrom.
Despite having a troubled past, 28-year-old Tennyson Chisholm, Salt Life as many referred to him, was making a positive change in his life.
We'll see you through. He'll take your pain away. God shall provide for you each and every day.
Dr. Carlos Reed came to know him well.
Yeah, Tennyson was definitely a son to me. You know, he had his challenges, and I believe that so many of us have our challenges.
Chisholm was gunned down Monday night as he left the gym in the Harbor Bay Shopping Center. Police say the victim was known to them. He was shot earlier this year and was later arrested for attempted murder. Chisholm was out on bail at the time of his killing. His assailants in a light-colored Japanese vehicle fired multiple shots at him, killing him on the scene.
I believe that what we're seeing in our country ought to be a wake-up call to all of us. What are we preparing?
So a layer of dirt now covers the scene where Monday's dreadful incident happened. Pastor Reed says you can use anything to cover it up, but this bloodshed will continue until real change comes about. And this real change means finding impactful ways of reaching our young men before it's too late.
I believe that we have to be more systematic. How do we deal and help these young people to cope with some of these situations that they're seeing happening in their homes and prepare them to be able to embrace a future, or we'll continue to be piling up people in cells at BDOCs.
Apostle Reed, who has his own story of transformation, says it's too late for Tennyson, but as a society, he hopes we can be more supportive of those trying to change for the better.
I believe that if we're going to move forward in our society, I believe that people ought to be celebrated for their gifts and not their issue, because the reality is all of us got issues.
And those who continue to involve themselves in illegal, often dangerous activities, Dr. Reed offers this.
Say, when you know that you come out of BDOCs, you're waiting trial because you hurt somebody, man, you got to lie low, man. Can't be out there like that. We had 128 murders last year. 47 of them were persons that were out on bail for murder. We already had 82 for this year, and almost 30 of those are persons that are being out on bail for murder. We got to do better.
And as investigations into this incident continue, police are appealing to members of the public who may have any information that can assist their investigation to come forward. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corval Pyfrom.
Well, crossing over now to Parliament, the government seeking to better protect consumers from unscrupulous business owners. And that comes by way of the Consumer Protection Bill, proposed legislation up for debate in the House of Assembly. And leading things off, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, who touted the bill as one that will drive healthy competition and by the same token, promote customer satisfaction. Fern Carey reports.
Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis telling House members that the Consumer Protection Bill 2023 puts in place a modern legislative framework to protect consumers while promoting fairness in the business environment. The proposed legislation will also expand the way persons can lodge complaints within and outside of the Bahamas, while protection for vulnerable populations will also be enhanced. The bill also targets businesses that provide both goods and services.
In this bill, we are protecting minors and those who are too ill to make decisions for themselves, as well as people living with disabilities, because these populations also deserve to be protected. We cannot have a fairer country without creating a more inclusive country.
Once the legislation is enacted, persons will be able to testify virtually, and all providers will have to be licensed and registered or face a penalty. Citing scams like pyramid schemes, Prime Minister Davis indicated that businesses that prey on the vulnerable in our society will be held accountable.
There are mothers out there who want to buy their child the latest video game or other popular gadgets as Christmas approaches. And there are electronic goods providers lurking out there who are waiting in the wings to sell a refurbished electronic item, passed off as a brand new item, sometimes with temporary Band-Aid repairs that allow the device to work just long enough to be sold. Those parents will now be protected from these dishonest practices.
Business entities that do not honor their return policy or that are not living up to their warranty policies are also being targeted.
Assuming the customer has adhered to the terms of the agreement and is not at fault, there will now be protections in place for those customers. Madam Speaker, the enactment of this bill will signal a significant shift in our approach to consumer protection. Every Bahamian consumer will be better protected. This bill, at its heart, is about fairness. The Bahamian entrepreneur who is starting a new business will now know that they are playing according to the same rules as larger businesses when it comes to providing quality goods and services.
Prime Minister Davis urged consumers to familiarize themselves with consumer protection legislation in order to know their rights. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Fern Carey.
Meantime, opposition leader and Marcos City MP Michael Pintard acknowledging in his contribution to today's Consumer Protection Bill that it's potentially beneficial to the country, particularly Family Island consumers.
Us who live outside of New Providence in particular, there is a need for greater consumer protection, Madam Speaker, and for inspectors to ensure that there isn't elevated prices in stores. Our Family Islands in particular has been adversely affected by this, and even in Grand Bahama. And so it is important that we strengthen the surveillance unit.
He also assured the opposition supporting the government in its efforts to address the way banks treat Bahamians.
I wish also, Madam Speaker, to once again pledge the opposition's support for what we hope will be a government's initiative to deal with the issue of banks and how they treat with Bahamian people. When the member for Fox Hill talks about this subject, we've indicated that he has bipartisan support from us in making sure that Bahamians are not taken advantage of by these banks. As we seek to educate Bahamians that they should move more quickly to mobile money, they should move to as quickly as they can to weaning themselves to a large extent of these brick and mortar institutions, since that is what these institutions are seeking to do to them.
If you're a Bahamian living abroad who's hoping to vote in the November 22nd West Grand Bahama and Bimini by-election, you can apply to do so in the advanced poll as an overseas or special voter. In the case of overseas voters, that includes a student or a spouse of a student, a member of staff of any embassy, high commission or other foreign mission, an employee of the Ministry of Tourism, Maritime Authority or other agency, or even an immediate family member or public officer. Special voters speak to nominated candidates as well as their spouses, election day workers, officials, or employees of the Parliamentary Registration Department, a voter with disabilities or 65 years or older, those with doctor-certified illnesses, or anyone who can expect to be overseas on the day of the by-election. Now, application sites in the capital are at the Parliamentary Registration Department, Farrington Road, or Administrator's Office in 8 Mile Rock, Grand Bahama. The application window closes on November 4th for overseas voters and November 13th for all other applicants. Still to come, more insight on domestic violence. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Folk Call Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Previously on Sanctuary.
The war has begun. Abnormals in the package.
Has changed over the past 60 years. But at Commonwealth Bank, our mission to build lifelong relationships with our clients remains the same. Our customers are more than just a number. Our customers are our family. And together, we create banking solutions that fit your unique needs. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
The new KFC nuggets have arrived. That unlike the no-gets, ours are handmade using 100% white meat. Unlike the no-gets, at KFC, we hand bread every day to achieve the perfect flavor. After you try our delicious and crispy nuggets in the original recipe, you'll never settle for less. KFC, the real nuggets. It's finger-licking good.
We are New Life Natural Company Limited, and we have actually been in the community for now 13 years, serving in the health field. Our diets is probably one of the most poorest diets actually in the Caribbean, and we are really low in the world. As a result of our diet, we are actually inheriting all of these different diseases. So we need to kind of like shift the way how we eat and shift it to eating more healthier food. So we at New Life here, we are trying to change the paradigms. We are actually introducing tasty, healthy options. And so hopefully this SBDC initiative will actually create the awareness, help us to have an understanding of what we are doing, why we are doing it, and help us to begin to shift this paradigm of proper eating, proper dieting, and proper fitness. So our motto is eat well, be well, and let your food be your medicine.
For more information about the Fitness and Wellness Initiative, contact the SBDC at 461-7232.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
You can find it all at Builders Mall.
From cement, lumber, block, plumbing, and electrical to paint, lights, vanities, and tiles. Not to mention all the tools you could possibly need to get the job done. Say if you're starting a major project, adding the finishing touches, or just doing some repair or rental work around the house. FYP, the Paint Center, and Tile King can help. Stop by or call 601-8453. Located 69 Wolf Road, Nassau. You can find it all at Builders Mall. Building, painting, and tiling, the Bahamas.
Jury selection in the closely watched corruption trial of Long Island MP Adrian Gibson. With more on how that played out, we go to our Devontae Hanna.
Well, that's right, Makushla Nair. A dozen jurors were excused with cause in the high-profile corruption trial of embattled Long Island MP Adrian Gibson due to their relationships with either the defendants, attorneys, or one of the 40 witnesses. Today, the impaneling process lasting over 4 hours with a 10-minute adjournment as court staff read off the charges in which the 6 defendants all pled not guilty to. In the end, a 4-man, 5-woman jury was sworn in before Justice Cheryl Grant Thompson. Now, after the defense exhausted their challenges, the court heard from jurors their reasons for why they should be dismissed. One juror revealing her kids are in the same school and grade as the children of one of the defendants. Another revealed he serviced the printers of Gibson's attorney Damian Gomez. And then there was the case of the juror who works closely with the wife of key witness, former Deputy Prime Minister Desmond Bannister. Other reasons included jurors being related to attorneys, having close relationships with witnesses, and having blood relatives that reside in Gibson's constituency. The sitting MP is being charged alongside his cousin Rashay Gibson, the former Water and Sewage General Manager Elwood Donaldson Jr., Peaches Farquharson, Joan Knowles, and Jerome Missick as part of an alleged plot to acquire land, cars, and money. This leading to the group of 6 being made to answer to 98 charges, including bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, receiving, and money laundering. Now, after being hit by several delays, including a temporary stay of the trial, a jury dismissal, and a new defense attorney for Gibson, the trial has finally begun, and the jurors should begin to hear testimony from the 40 witnesses, which include Gibson's former fiancée, Alexandria Maki, and one of his former co-defendants turned Crown witness, Tanya Demerit. The extremely high-profile trial should last 1 month. Reporting live in studio, I'm Devontae Hanna, sending it back to you, Makushla.
Well, thanks, Devontae. It's been nearly 15 years, meantime, since thousands of CLECO policyholders were left without clarity on monies owed by the now infamous insurer. Tonight, our Lloyd Allen seeks to provide a further update on those efforts in the face of a recent report issued by the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago. Lloyd?
Well, of course, good evening, Makushla, and good evening, Bahamas. More than a decade after CLECO went belly up, another group of CLECO policyholders can soon look forward to securing tens of thousands of dollars owed. CLECO policyholder, New Covenant Senior Pastor Emirate, Bishop Simeon Hall, telling our news team that after so many years of urgency, it feels good that this debacle is again gaining traction.
The CLECO debacle is what I call when capitalism goes south. I'm glad to see that there's a light at the end of the tunnel. I understand that a court in Trinidad ruled that they should repay people for what they lost. And I commend, we could still have faith in the court system, even though sometimes we doubt them. And then secondly, the push of the government. I think both governments over the years, successive governments, have done something to bring us to this point.
So you are aware, in total, more than 12,000 policyholders are said to be impacted by this matter, along with funds remaining outstanding to both government and creditors. Hall advising all to continue to agitate for what is owed and for what is right.
I don't mind telling you that I got some of my money back. I didn't get all. A lot of people called me. They still call me some 12 years later. And we had a meeting here, and some 500-600 persons showed up in a meeting here. And they were all waylaid. Some of them wanted us to take more aggressive action, but we did what we wanted. We wrote to the parliamentarians.
Now, according to the Central Bank of Trinidad and Tobago, the first phase involves payment to government as the single largest creditor of CLICO and to nearly 1,700 policyholders who held short-term investment products. This process comprises at least $4 billion in cash, and the balance of around $3 billion will be settled upon the transfer. Now, during phase 2, government will receive an 85% payout of its $7 billion claim on CLICO's statutory fund. In the third phase, creditors outside of CLICO's statutory fund, such as non-government mutual fund holders and non-residential policy holders, will be paid following the sale of CLICO's shareholding in Republic Bank Limited and other assets. Reporting live in studio for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen. Makushla.
Well, thanks, Lloyd. As the holidays near, there's sure to be a mad dash to catch a few of the sales up for grabs. But in doing so, there's a possibility of unexpected accidents at the hands of drivers not paying due care to the rules of the road. But J.S. Johnson Senior Manager Charles Johnson is strongly advising motorists to always keep their insurances current.
You're someone who have a history with your company and you've always paid your premium on time, there may be some relief, but it's not a legal binding thing. So we encourage persons to pay attention to the expiration date of their policy. If you're unable to come in because of your work schedule, then get on the phone and call your insurer and say, listen, can I come in and pay my premium the following day or whenever? Get an agreement, an understanding, albeit a verbal agreement. Companies will stand by their agreement, you know. But don't take the chance of operating a vehicle without insurance coverage.
Well, the Department of Meteorology has added a new piece of equipment to its armory. Carla Palmer reports on the new resource tool and its capabilities.
The Automatic Weather Station, or AWS, is one of the latest pieces of state-of-the-art equipment acquired by the Bahamas Department of Meteorology. Powered by solar and the information easily accessible with the click of a mouse from a desk at the Met Office, Acting Met Director Jeffrey Simmons expounds on its many features.
The purpose for having the automatic weather stations is to actually find out what weather conditions are like in remote areas. Okay, all of our automatic weather stations, they have their solar energy. We have several of them here in New Providence, and we have them throughout many of the Family Islands. It tells us what's going on in terms of temperature, wind, rainfall, relative humidity, pressure in those areas. And it assists us in when we are doing our forecasting, and also in collecting climatological data, how we can actually use this information to do research, especially in the area of climate change. For that, you know, it was more manual, but now it's more automatic, where we actually get real-time information. We used to do an observation every hour, but now with these stations, we doing observations like every minute, every 5 minutes. These are putting out new information.
Officials are also planning to install one of these automatic weather stations at the site on Gladstone Road to assist BAMSI in its agricultural endeavors.
For the two that's going to be installed at the agriculture sites, which is here in Nassau and Gladstone Road, and the other one at BAMSI, we are also going to add agriculture sensors to them. In other words, we're going to be able to put sensors on them to determine soil temperatures and soil moisture conditions and all of that we're going to put in there also. So in addition to the meteorological information like rainfall and temperature, they're going to be able to get soil conditions for those sites also. All of these information that they use in their research and help growing crops in certain areas.
According to Simmons, the benefits of the AW stations have far-reaching implications.
If there are claims, some people claim that there was a lightning storm that damaged some of the equipment that was insured. The insurance company want to verify, was there really a lightning storm going on in this particular area at this particular time? That at the Sports Center, that comes in handy, especially when it comes to when we now hosting international track events. Because one of the things that's very important for international track events are records. They want to know what the wind conditions were like. So if we have an event going on and it happens that a new world record is set for the 100 meters, the first thing they want to know is, did they have, how much help they they had from the wind.
These automated weather systems were funded through the European Union and the Caribbean Community Climate Change Center. 20 of the 8W stations have been installed throughout the country so far, with many more to come. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Carla Palmer.
The Elizabeth constituency's Progressive Liberal Party branch making a big donation to police in that area. Officers will soon be seen spinning on new wheels. Corville Pyfrom has more on the gift the officers and community received.
We wanted to donate these bicycles that will help to be a support for them to continue to be a presence throughout the community, but also to support them as they protect us, guide us, and assist us throughout.
Elizabeth Member of Parliament JoBeth Colby Davis Monday handing over a fleet of new police mountain bikes to her colleague, National Security Minister Wayne Monroe, and officers at the Elizabeth Estates Police Station. The bikes are a donation from Colby Davis's constituency.
This is a very tangible sort of partnership with the police. I know the Minister of Health would be happy that this can keep some policemen healthy riding these bicycles.
I can assure the public that these bicycles will be put to good use in this area. Good use. We have officers who are ready, willing, able, and capable of riding these bicycles. And so the thing is, they're quiet, moving, and so they can move about very, very quietly in every little community. And so we're once again very grateful to you, Minister, for donating these bikes.
So first shift tomorrow, we're going to see the folks in short slacks on the bikes. Huh?
We hope so, very soon.
These new bikes, and there are 10 of them, will increase police presence in the area. It is also hoped through this initiative there will be stronger bonds between community and police in the Elizabeth constituency and surrounding areas.
And we're going to have the bicycle unit patrolling the residential as well as the commercial areas. As we approach the Christmas season, we know a lot of persons will be out shopping. We have a number of plazas and commercial establishments, shopping centers within our division. The bike unit will be out during the daylight hours, of course, patrolling those areas.
We've worked well with them over the years. They've been assisting us, keeping in close contact with the community, with the residents, and always providing the detailed information as needed as relates to crime and anything else that's happening and how they are deterring it, and also just community programs that they've been engaged in, helping our youth. And that strong bond that we have built over the years, we wanted to make sure that we're also a part of assisting them in carrying out their duties throughout our community.
Of course, road safety always a top priority of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, so expect to see a squad of fully trained, prepared officers on their new wheels real soon. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Corville Pyfrom.
Marcellus Hall joins us in studio with a check on what's coming up in sports. Marcellus?
Coming up in sports for this evening, Don't Blink Home Run Derby is back. Details just ahead in sports.
The ball is back, and the ball is the Red Ribbon Ball, the 27th annual Red Ribbon Ball in aid of the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. And the theme this year is 1001 Arabian Nights.
Zaymer is a proud supporter of the AIDS Foundation and the Red Ribbon Ball. Over the years, we found that what we do best creates an atmosphere for people to open up their pocket.
Well, at John Bull, we believe in the work of the AIDS Foundation. You know, I've been told whenever you see that little blue bag, it brings excitement. Well, we're going to have lots of blue bags at this year's Red Ribbon Ball, and we have no doubt that it will be fabulous.
So at Alive Business, we're extremely excited to be a part of the Red Ribbon Ball once again this year, and that we're able to contribute $10,000 towards the success of this program.
As Commonwealth Brewery, we're more than proud to partner with the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We're going to provide our best wines to entertain and bring the right atmosphere to the group.
So we at Wildflowers are thrilled that the ball
Ball is back. And we're very excited to be able to contribute to this event by decorating the Arabian Nights more beautiful than ever before.
Andy, turns out I'm allergic to the Australian veggie spread.
Ooh, thankfully CG will cover you anywhere in the world. Remember when I went to Australia for my title fight? Trust me when I say you do not want to get in the ring with a kangaroo. It wasn't until my victory dinner with the Sultan that I realized top shelf caviar doesn't agree with me. But I was covered. Anyway, I gotta go. I'm teaching your cousin how to use a flamethrower.
Medical cover anywhere in the world. CG Atlantic Medical and Life. Good like that.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today.
The Ministry of Tourism, Investments and Aviation and the University of Miami Athletics announced a broad-based strategic multi-year partnership, making the islands of the Bahamas the official destination partner of Miami Athletics.
This partnership is significant for Bahamas tourism. Miami is our neighbor. It is the gateway to the Bahamas and the Caribbean region. Our biggest airline partners frequent Miami as a hub, and it will help us to feed traffic from the rest of Florida to the Bahamas. So, with that said, we're blessed with proximity. They are our neighbors, they are our friends. They're a large alumni association for UM in the Bahamas, and therefore the partnership was very natural. We are big on sports tourism, but we're really big on getting our guests from Florida to the Bahamas. We want to officially invite them to the Bahamas using the hurricanes as a platform to do so. So there's great opportunities for community partnerships. There's opportunities for corporate and events initiatives. There's opportunities really to have a relationship as we are doing this over a 3-year period. This is not just transactional, so we will have an opportunity to attract not just tourists, but investments to the Bahamas. Importantly, it's more than just football. It's also basketball, men and women basketball. So this is powerful. I'm looking forward to the game tonight, but I am also looking forward to the boost that this is going to give Bahamas tourism. I'm excited about this partnership. Many of our stakeholders have already called. They're excited too. And I'm sure that you're going to hear more and more about this.
For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
Introducing the Focal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Focal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Focal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
It's really a fun Junkanoo group, and if you're looking to be a member of Sting, an opportunity presents itself. Group leader Gary Super Johnson is bound for Grand Bahama this weekend in search of Junkanooers for the New Year's Junkanoo Parade in Freeport. Further, as part of its community outreach, the group will on January 2nd distribute presents to children in West End.
All the people in Grand Bahama can expect to have a great time. You know, we invite everybody in West End. You bring all the kids, bring your kids, even the parents come and sit down. You know, we have lots of toys, lots of food, and, you know, it's just a fun day for everybody.
Bernard B.H. Hanna has been a member of Sting since 1992. The 79-year-old is the lead dancer. In fact, he showed us his dance moves and talked about their new song.
We rush, so to speak, to our own beat. Others try to imitate us, but no, it's nothing like us. We've been here since 1992, and we've been creating songs and getting people excited, making them delighted, and making them realize this is Christmas time, this is Junkanoo time. That's why they always ask us, what you bringing this year?
And what are you bringing this year?
No, we can't disclose that. You don't ask the big groups that, but you're asking us? No, it's something that people just wait with bated breath, and it's gonna come, you'll hear it by the 1st of December.
Well, time now for the poll of the week, and this week we're asking, should the government adjust its posture and assist shantytown residents or demolish their homes? You can chime in on our social media handles.
In case you missed the news or want to stay ahead, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on X, TikTok, Instagram, or Facebook.
With the help of our authorized financial institutions, or AFIs, using sand dollars is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Step 1. Identify your preferred AFI by browsing their websites or contacting them directly. Step 2. Download the free mobile application from Google Play or the Apple Store and then register for a sand dollar account. Step 3. Load money onto your mobile app and begin sending and receiving sand dollars or purchasing and selling goods and services.
We are pleased to be
your central bank approved
digital wallet providers. It does not matter
which of us you choose.
You can pay for goods and services
wherever sand dollar is accepted.
We are all in this together.
Visit sanddollar.bs for more information.
Are you or a loved one under medical care? Do you need affordable medical supplies? Ports International is the largest home health care supplier. Medical supplies at the very best price. And you can even shop online. From hospital beds to wound care, wheelchairs to walkers, Ports is a one-stop shop for your medical supplies, and we accept insurance. We have online shopping and 2 locations to serve you, at the Airport Industrial Park and Shirley Street. We also ship to the Family Islands. Shop online and visit us on Facebook. Call Ports at 377-1771.
SHSS Electrical has relocated. You can now find them on Chesapeake Road in the former Minute Muffler building. There, you can pick up Square D switches, combos, breakers, and breaker panels, plus all the electrical wires you need. Want meter cans, LED bulbs, and ceiling fans? You can find it all at SHSS Electrical.
Need a DNA test to find out if someone is your father, your child, or your grandparent? Call DNA Direct at 324-0665. Get a DNA test for as low as $450. Now you can prove that you are or are not related to an individual easily. Call DNA Direct 324-0665.
Coco Plum Wellness is the #1 place you should go for colonics treatment. They have the only hydrotherapy open system in the Bahamas. This 45-minute session detoxifies the colon, getting rid of unwanted toxins, gas, and mucus. These sessions result in weight loss, improved skin, and a healthier colon. Book your appointment by dialing 445-8111.
The time may change, but not the great specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Libby's Vienna sausage, 4 ounce, $1.19. So cheesy macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, 2 for $1.49. Tipton apple juice, 64 ounce, $3.99. Sunny Delight smooth or tangy, 64 ounce, 2 for $5. Fresh carrots, 2-pound bag, $2.99. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality.
Anyone shipping goods between islands knows the challenge and at times headache this can create. But getting goods by boat is a way of life for many, like South Androsians, who recently saw a disruption in this essential service. Mangrove Key Central and South Andros Member of Parliament Leon Lundy says last week there were some weather-related issues that caused shipping delays to the area. This greatly impacted residents and businesses, but once weather conditions improved, services quickly resumed.
We import everything, and the mail boats as is now with the weather, that's what's causing a delay. It's just weather. I mean, and the boat, I think it was delayed by about 2 days because of the weather, due to weather. That's all what really delays it. It's just weather. We have 3 boats running in this area, so it's only weather that'll permit it from happening.
And speaking of weather, it's time for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makisha. Partly cloudy skies this evening. Temperature 80 degrees, relative humidity 70%. North-northeast winds at 12 miles per hour. The barometric pressure of 1,013.0 millibars. That's 29.92 inches. And your temperatures around the Family Wellness this evening, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 77 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Greenville, Key, and Abaco. Marshall, Abaco at 78 degrees. We have 80 degrees in Harper Island and Roxanne, Eleuthera. Black Point, Exuma, and Kemp Space, Andros at 82 degrees. 80 in Fresh Creek, Central Andros. Artistan, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Rum Key, 82. 83 in Georgetown, Exuma. Pick up another set of 83s in Ragged Island, Clarenstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Maguana, 80 degrees. Acklands, 80. Matthew, Taninago, 82. And the Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Center. In the Northwestern Islands tonight, northwest to north winds, 15 to 20 knots. Very rough sea conditions, 4 to 7 feet. So caution flags are in place for the northwest bombs tonight. High tide occurs at 11:21. And for the central and southeastern islands, northwest north winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. But as we take you into Thursday and Friday, the winds are going to increase significantly northeast at 20 to 25 knots in northwest bombers, wave heights building 7 to 10 feet over the ocean, and those winds will be gusting in excess of gale force at times. High tide occurs at 11:49 in the morning. Low tide at 6:25 in the afternoon, and hence we're asking small craft to simply just stay in port on Thursday and Friday of this week. In the central and southeastern parts of our country through Friday, northeast to east winds 15 to 20 knots, wave heights 4 to 7 feet. Caution flags posted there for boaters in the central and southeastern islands. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Want to have your voice heard? Send your letters to the editor to digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. Share your thoughts on current events or positive stories within your community. That's digitalmedia@znsbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family. Join the family. Family Guardian. Protect the ones you love. A friend that you can trust. Family Guardian.
With 3 or more vehicles looking for the perfect fueling solution? Well, look no further.
I can go to any Rubis service station and get fast and easy service without any form of payment.
I can top up my fuel account and generate reports anytime online.
We at Wildflowers enjoy significant savings from fraud reduction. The Rubis system provides optimum security and peace of mind.
Email bahamassales@rubis-bahamas.com to sign up now.
Have you ever purchased a defective item and was denied an exchange or cash refund? contact the Consumer Protection Commission at 393-779-5 through 8 or our 24-hour complaints hotline at 357-7898 and let us help your voice be heard.
Hey, get up, stand up for your right.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera. Welcome to your ZNS Total Sports Check, everybody. I'm Marcellus Hall. As promised, tonight we take another look at some of the newest members of the Sports Hall of Fame. Once again, here's Charles Fisher with the story.
Dr. Larry Davis spent decades as an executive of the then Bahamas Olympic Association, contributing to the growth of sports and the Olympic movement in the Bahamas.
I think it's great. I'm humbled by it, and it's so great to be inducted with so many great people who have contributed to our country in sports. I feel wonderful to be included with them, and I would like to praise them for the work they've done. And I also like the youth coming up who've taken over and doing even greater things than we did. That is what I feel is best.
Setting the standard for where sports is has always been his goal.
Very good, because now the Olympic Association is doing even better things, getting good, great competition. And the Bahamas itself, now they recognize us throughout the world, and we are on the map because of our international wins and the international accomplishments of our young athletes.
It was called the heyday of basketball, and John Bumpy Johnson was part of that era. Now, John Bumpy Johnson is finally a Hall of Famer.
I'm elated and very proud. It's been a long time in coming, 49 years, I think. But, it's better late than never.
Playing on the parks back in those days, it was all about the love of the game, no future glory.
For the good of the sport, but it came, because I was above average in basketball, so, I excel. It's grown tremendously, and I'm proud of, of the way it is today.
Two legends getting their just due. For ZNS Total Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
The Don't Blink Home Run Derby is set to host the 6th edition of that event, which has become a staple on the local and international sporting calendar. At a press conference to announce this year's Derby on December 9th, co-founder Todd Isaacs Jr. is saying the Derby's popularity a big source of pride still for him.
It just means the world to us, being young kids from the Bahamas, a small island nation of just 400,000 people, and to create something that now the world wants. The doors are smashed down, they're wide open. The potential in the future of baseball here in the Bahamas, it starts with this event. This event has opened the doors, is brought eyes from everywhere to see what's going on here in the Bahamas, and once they come down and experience it one time, they never ever want to be left out.
And as the year winds down, the Bahamas Lawn Tennis Association looks to continue to be active. PLTA President Perry Newton says one of the things on the end of the year agenda will be the return of the annual awards ceremony.
We're hoping to have our awards banquet where we'll recognize many of our players and the things that they've done. We'll also be looking to recognize some of the persons that were instrumental in the success of the association over the past several years. Because of COVID, we felt that it wouldn't be appropriate, but now that we have clearance and nothing's going to stop us, no COVID, no anything like that. We're going to recognize some of the persons that were instrumental during COVID to make sure the association ran and was impactful in the programs that they ran.
And in the Providence Volleyball Association, with a couple of games on the schedule for tonight, 7:30, Panthers going up against the UP Mingos in ladies action. That'll be followed at 9. Another ladies affair as Lady Techs take on the Set C Poppers. And that's it. You look at sports here on this Wednesday. Don't go anywhere. We got that Wednesday weather coming up right after this. ZNS Total Sports brought to you by Sans Beer, who reminds you to recycle your beer bottles for cash in Nassau, Grand Bahama, and now Abaco and Eleuthera.
This is ZNS Total Sports.
The time may change, but not the great specials at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Libby's Vienna sausage, 4 ounce, $1.19. So cheesy macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounce, 2 for $1.49. Tipton apple juice, 64 ounce, $3.99. Sunny Delight smooth or tangy, 64 ounce, 2 for $5. Fresh carrots, 2-pound bag, $2.99. Donate your change to help feed the Humane Society animals at Super Value and Quality Supermarket.
First we plan, then we innovate, then we build. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, we are committed to quality, to safety, and to service. We know that the road you take is just as important as your final destination. At Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, it is our job to make sure the road and the ride are as smooth as possible. From striping roads to building them, we are the right choice, the trusted choice, the only choice to help you build your tomorrow.
Nomination Day. Candidates race for the seat. Smith.
I'm here to pledge action.
Grant.
The people's voice needs to be heard.
Bain.
Why should you go with a third party this time?
Swain.
The causes that you fight for.
Burroughs.
Burroughs for Better Bahamas.
November 6th on ZNS. Live coverage begins at 8:30 a.m. Hosted by Ricardo Lightbourne.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, we continue to monitor this area of low pressure in the central Caribbean Sea. It continues to move towards the west. Hurricane Center is giving it a 20% chance of developing in the short term, and over a 7-day period, that will bump up to about 40%, but no problem for us here in the Bahamas. Satellite pictures showing our frontal boundary now across the southeast. Bahamas about to exit the area by tomorrow, and then eventually it'll start working its way back as a warm front over the next couple of days, increasing shower activity as we head into the weekend. Tonight, we're looking at partly cloudy, windy with a couple of showers around, mainly later on tonight, with a low temperature of 75 degrees. And tomorrow, very windy conditions, partly sunny with showers still in the mix. High temperature just struggling to get up to about 81 degrees tomorrow. And extended weather forecast, breezy conditions right into Friday. Things start to ease up a bit as we head into the weekend. And we will eventually see some clearing of the skies come Monday of next week. But those daytime temperatures, they're going to be very comfortable. And with those strong winds, well, the only thing that's going to be a problem there is for boaters. And we're simply asking boaters in the northwest and central Bahamas to simply remain in port over the next couple of days. Makisha.
Well, thanks, Basil. The names picked, gifts delivered. And now it's time for the big reveal. ZNS's secret pals yesterday got a chance to see just who's been dropping off tokens of love and gratitude in recent weeks. LaDawn Davis reports.
It was at a reveal party with Halloween-themed decor in the backyard at ZNS where secret pals exchanged pleasantries or not so much about their pal before making the big announcement and exchanging final gifts. Organizer Beverly Curry says initiatives that bring joy and put smiles on the faces of employees is what the corporation needs more of.
We had about 52 persons entering who were exchanging gifts. They didn't know who they were giving, and it turned out very good. And from here, we're going to do an act of kindness where you give people the love with words, just words. Because, you know, this one, they had to spend some money, and some pals went beyond. And as you can see today, they had a lot of gifts. So it turned out well, and it shows that, you know, we here at ZNS, we care about one another. We are showing brotherly love.
The most valuable Secret Pal Award went to sales associate Eleanor McCoy, who went above and beyond to ensure that her pal got everything on their wish list.
It brought the staff together, good camaraderie and everything amongst the staff, you know, and the management team. It was really good. My secret pal, oh man, I haven't really
work with him that long. I mean, he was here a few months, but listen to me. He was really motivated by the gifts that I purchased for him. I mean, he got something for me like every day. Was real excited. He was even excited. He even wanted to propose to me.
New employee Cleon Monroe says if the next Secret Pal initiative is anything like this one, he can't wait to be a part of it.
It was like me getting gifts from my wife. Like, it was somebody who knew me. She studied me, and I just came here for this is my first month, so she really did an excellent job, and I really appreciate it.
Organizers say this event was fun, filled with lots of surprises, and they're hoping next time around more employees would not only participate, but put their creative minds to work, because after all, it's the thought that counts. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm LaDawn Davis.
Well, we can now tell you that Cleon and Eleanor, they're both now a couple. Well, that does it. Just joking, and that does it for the Bahamas Tonight. Thank you for continuing to make ZNS your first choice for news and information. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. From all of us here at ZNS, thank you for watching, and good night.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.